Welcome, everyone, to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking a massive, sudden shift in how kids interact with technology at school. If you're a parent, a teacher, or honestly just someone fascinated by the collision of education and artificial intelligence, you really need to pay attention to this. Because the whole landscape of doing homework, it just fundamentally changed overnight. We're talking about a new, highly integrated AI study partner that has officially landed right in your kid's digital backpack. And let me tell you, that digital backpack just got a whole lot heavier, intellectually speaking. 150 million. Let that staggering number sink in for a second. Why does it matter so much? Well, on August 10th, Google quietly flipped an invisible switch. And suddenly, over 150 million students worldwide who use Google Classroom were given access to AI directly inside their digital learning environment. This wasn't some tiny pilot program limited to a few fancy schools in California, and it wasn't just rolled out for college kids. We are talking about students of all ages, all across the globe, suddenly having a wildly powerful AI tool right at their fingertips. Section 1. The August 10th Switch, AI and the Digital Backpack. Okay, let's dive into this and map out exactly what this new reality looks like for the millions of kids logging on to do their assignments this week. We're talking about a dedicated Gemini tab that now lives permanently inside the super familiar Google Classroom navigation bar. Gemini can now turn class materials into incredibly useful study tools, like flashcards and practice quizzes. But here is the absolutely critical part. It generates these tools directly from the readings, the slides, or the handouts that their specific teacher actually uploaded. It's not just pulling random trivia from the internet. It is building study tools from the exact curriculum your student is supposed to be learning. And getting this help is completely frictionless. It's literally 3 steps. Step 1, a student clicks a starter prompt. Step 2, they pick their class and the specific assignment. Step 3, Gemini pulls all the curriculum materials in automatically. Think about how helpful this is. There's no tedious copying and pasting of long instructions. There's no trying to explain the context to an AI chatbot in a totally separate window. It just natively understands exactly what the student is working on. Plus, it gets even more seamlessly integrated into their daily workflow. When a student goes to their due soon list to see what homework is coming up, they can hover over any assignment and a little button pops up saying, Learn with Gemini. Tapping that provides immediate, guided help. It can generate a custom study guide or a quiz grounded purely in that one specific assignment. It's basically like having a personalized tutor waiting right next to their to-do list. Now, for students who are auditory or visual learners, there's this brilliant feature. Students can send their teachers' materials straight into a tool called Notebook LM. From there, the AI can create interactive study guides, infographics, and even audio overviews. We're talking about generating custom podcast-style explanations of their exact history or science handouts. Oh, and for the kids who are always on the go, the mobile version of all this rolls out on August 17th. Section 2. The contrast, not just ChatGPT in school. All right, we have to address the giant elephant in the room here, cheating. When parents and educators hear about AI in the classroom, the immediate fear is that it's just an open-ended cheating machine. But this sanctioned tool is built completely differently. Now, what's really interesting about this is the core design decisions separating the technologies. ChatGPT answers anything, right? It draws from the vast, chaotic, open internet and its broad training data. Gemini in Classroom, however, only answers from the uploaded teacher materials. That scope constraint is the intellectual core of this entire tool. That scope constraint is the entire point. What does this actually mean in practice for your kid? It means that when they ask Gemini to make flashcards for their biology chapter, the AI isn't just guessing. Those flashcards are generated using the exact terminology, the exact examples, and the specific emphasis found in the actual PDF their teacher assigned. So it's studying for their specific test, not just some generic biology exam. Because of this strict constraint, the AI can't easily be used to just get the answer and skip the hard work. If a teacher uploads a reading and assigns really complex discussion questions, Gemini is designed to help the student actually understand that reading. It's working from the very same material the student should be reading anyway, guiding them through it rather than just spitting out a random internet-generated answer to cheat with. Section 3. The reassurance, the privacy fact check. Look, I know hearing the phrase AI plus kids immediately triggers alarm bells about data and tracking. You want to know who's watching, what data is being collected, and how your child is being targeted. It's a perfectly valid fear. But Google has implemented a remarkably strict education privacy policy here. So the crucial point is, well, let's just break this down in plain English. First, zero advertising. None. Second, your kids' questions and study habits are never used to train Google's broader AI models. Third, that data is never sold to third parties, not aggregated, not anonymized, just not sold, period. And finally, your school admins control everything. They can turn this on or off for specific grade levels or the entire school. And here is another huge sigh of relief for underfunded school districts. This tool is available on all Google Workspace for Education editions, Fundamentals, Standard, and Plus, at absolutely no additional cost. Schools aren't paying a premium for this integration, and Google absolutely isn't secretly monetizing the students' data to cover their development tab. It's simply a free addition to the platform they already use every day. Section 4, the playbook, how to actually study with Gemini. So now that we know what it is and that it's safe, let's move to and see how this builds into a highly actionable, genuinely helpful guide. Because the students who are going to benefit most from this aren't the ones trying to cut corners. They're the ones who learn how to use this as a powerful study partner. Before a test, a student can select their own notes and the teacher's slides and ask Gemini to quiz them. Now here is a fascinating, slightly counterintuitive study hack. You can actually encourage your kid to get the AI's questions wrong on purpose. Why? Because when they miss a question, they can ask Gemini to explain the mistake, and the AI will point them back to the exact slide or page in their notes they need to review. How cool is that? Now, think about how to handle a really heavy reading assignment. You can ask Gemini to create a study guide that highlights the key arguments before you even start reading the text. And this brilliantly illustrates a core educational concept. By creating a framework in your mind before you tackle dense material, you end up retaining significantly more information in way less time. You literally know what you are looking for before you even dive in. What about for a big research project? Students can use the starter prompts to brainstorm fresh angles or even generate an outline for their paper, strictly using the source materials the teacher provided. But remember, and this is vital for parents to reiterate at home, the AI helps organize the source materials, but the student absolutely still has to do the actual critical thinking to write a good paper. And with the mobile drop happening just after the web launch on August 17th, this entire playbook goes totally portable. Kids will be able to generate flashcards from their class materials and review them on their phones anywhere. Waiting for the bus, sitting at soccer practice, they can literally turn idle time into a highly productive, focused review session. Finally, Section 5, the new normal, shifting from banned tech to sanctioned partner. We really need to step back and frame the bigger picture of this technological shift, because this is going to fundamentally change the dynamic at the kitchen table when it comes to homework. First things first, parents, you don't need to do anything. If your school uses Google Classroom, this is on by default unless your specific IT department has gone in and manually disabled it. We just need to reiterate that this is strictly a study tool. It is deliberately designed to make it much, much harder to misuse than the open-ended AI chatbots of the past. Take a second to think about this quote, which perfectly captures the reality of this new tech. Students who use it to avoid thinking won't learn. Students who use it to challenge themselves will learn faster. Like any tool, it all comes down to application. And here is something important Google says explicitly. The AI will make mistakes. That isn't a bug, it's a feature of learning. Catching those mistakes provides a phenomenal opportunity for kids to practice evaluating AI outputs, which is a vital life skill they are going to need in the future workplace anyway. Think about how radically different this reality is from just 12 months ago. Last year, AI in schools meant kids sneaking ChatGPT on their phones under their desks, and teachers playing a constant, stressful game of high-tech whack-a-mole trying to catch them. Today, we are looking at a school-sanctioned, teacher-scoped, privacy-protected study partner built directly into the platform they already use every single day. Look, it's certainly not perfect. No technology ever is. But it is a monumental shift in education. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Knowing everything you know now about how it's walled off, how it fiercely protects privacy, and how it focuses strictly on teacher materials, will you encourage your kid to challenge themselves with this new tool or avoid it entirely? The switch has been flipped. The choice of how to use it is now completely yours. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope you found it helpful and eye-opening.